Kwame Bediako, the CEO at the Quales Group. Now, Quales Group comprises of 5 companies: the Wonder World Estates, Petronia City Development, New Africa Construction, Belfast City and Property Management, and New Africa Foundation. Nana Kwame Bediako is not merely a real estate magnate. He's also an emblem of change. His journey from outsider to the zenith of influence mirrors the transformative power of resilience, ambition, and the enduring spirit of a nation.
Abodia Sempati, Via Mosomfo, Bodia Sempani. And Yebedin Como Afa Abeiku Santana, and Cheddar interview, Omoyen. Na why would him say Abeiku Santana there on the Watana media no Achi na on each other is Shiano. It's in Bisa Ahodo Echo so. Na Debia make us a cheddar, Ayo beer. So penasem, so one penasem. So open no cry. Or you'll be a inspirational person. Or you'll be a like Ube to me Ashe Nene Nekasa na Asho Ukraine. Emma sa what to cry almost and no. On Yashe Ma, when I was also Kenya na utumi yede eye bibi ema ho we are no so free one ma or you be a eniso ade hu a esi na ni so no eso na osaso ye obi a owonim de adwen no so emu abie adwen mu abie okuta fie nyansa na okuta nim de so a yesua edeka ho wanya okuta ni na because ohwe nkoma ekoso asembisa eba ne ekwan a ofaso eyi nsam na no na eye marvelous me hwe ni interview bi na ede ya me hwe interview ni date nso ana ka na epepepe da mu say yes ni o ka no sa na ti aka ye kra ye tim kura se na na ko se yehu sa de no but me kra madwen ankoso sa until sa ni interview no ena me hu ye na in fact misua ne ma hodo bebre na mpese ye react to sa video no eno no eweba actually ono eno ma mi hu say sana first April and say if April ono ena mango eba na homu no so na hu sa ampan so sana sa time na mango ayede ayi niti season bia ne fruit eba but me na madwe ye me say eba no say kwani ye na ye say December ena nnuaba hodo bebre na eso basa no major time o mode so no bia wone de ansa na bia ko December no won ma ansa na emu binom aka bomu na omo abre anaso omaso na the other ones no so omaso atwam no na omo de akire de na be ye na no so ayede aba kan o de yenko hwe one Abeiku Santana interview ewa interview be no part 1 and part 2 mesro so benya awotre na watena ase no ahwe kasa no eiii.
Nana Kwame Bediako, the CEO at the Quales Group. Now, Quales Group comprises of 5 companies: the Wonder World Estates, Petronia City Development, New Africa Construction, Belfast City and Property Management, and New Africa Foundation. Nana Kwame Bediako is not merely a real estate magnate. He's also an emblem of change. His journey from outsider to the zenith of influence mirrors the transformative power of resilience, ambition, and the enduring spirit of a nation. Born of a humble beginning, freedom, as affectionately called, his journey is a story of tenacity and ambition, and that surpasses the ordinary. From turning 2 fowls into a thriving poultry farm in his youthful days, underscores the notion that success is not merely measured in riches or academic degrees, but in the depth of experiences that shapes character. As the torchbearer of the next generation, Nana Kwame Bediako embodies a leadership style that resonates with the dynamic, forward-thinking spirit of today's youth. His charisma, magnetic, limitless ambition resonates all through his initiatives. and that invite the youth to him. He has attended a number of youth events. He has been on youth platforms. He has supported our creative arts industry, tourism, and hospitality. Just to mention a few. The University Challenge, which is another allied impact that endeavors his foundation, the New Africa Foundation, for instance, is not just about financial gestures, but also building bridges and connecting people, those with aspirations, to an unprecedented height of possibilities. He stands as a trailblazer in the expansive realm of real estate, navigating its 4 distinct corners: residential, national, industrial, and commercial. And through his visionary endeavors, Nana Kwame Bediako has contributed by creating over 700 homes. Welcome, Nana Kwame Bediako, my brother from another mother that we go way back like 20 something years ago.
Okay, FM.
Thank you, Abeiku. Thank you for having me. Listening to you speak, I think you can even be one of these politicians. So you speak better than some of them.
I wish, but I don't have money, so it's expensive to be a politician in Ghana. So I want to remain a public figure to influence decisions. But casting my mind back, time I share for in 2002, 2003. Now things is that time now feel UK about for, but now we was starting with you. At that time, as a young guy that you have set your world on a pedestal, a path, and a pathway of creating wealth for yourself. Say now who Ghana at that time. I'm over 20 years building industries.
Ghana there, 52,000 muhona made me free abroad by Ghana. No, it was more of a voice that instructed me. Say, call my mubium. Na me ba Ghana no so no me
okay, FM. 101.7.
Amamatna ha na amamani other form, just to focus and visualize on what my dream is, what my vision is, and all of that coming together. But me sure so decision I me take is me betra Ghana no. Me I had me pursue my vision no more so than staying in Abrochire was something that I don't regret at all, and I won't forget, because nankofo bebre emra me to anamon se me bagana abe pursue me vision no na bi mu sre me na bi mu free say Abrochire na ye heaven Abrochire na bibia wo ho. But me betra ha from 2001 up to 2023 me sure said next nankofo na bi no omo read me story and omo hu nia metimi aye nti question ya we bisa me me de, because me person nkofo a omo to anamon ho omo tu kwan omo tete Abrochire ni ade no omo timi hu se it is so mobile no mbeboa na yesi omusi omuman ombeboa ni omusua ohono so omfa bi mbrafie, because me feel I have become an example to this diasporans omuso wa bontin omufri fie ekwa bontin na ni omusua no omfa bi mbra, because in 22 years now we've been able to build a great empire.
Over 2 decades, a day experience no wenya. Ghana Jumaye Eding, as you are aspiring to become a leader of this country, it means you know it all. What are some of the challenges that you went through as an entrepreneur, as a businessman for this 2 decades?
Mr. Santana, but experiencing so is the foundation of wisdom. Into experience na menya ukruma no, me say unye tolerant, unye patient. If you don't apply and activate your wisdom, your knowledge, and your courage, wait me awosika ukruma so be she everyone sem. Wait me nya position bi ukruma position kase and so be san everyone sa, because nipa bebre na sika no mu depend wo so ana say position no. Omurefi say sikano e time ebetime afluenza position nso what time ebetime afluenza dem mo no nipa no ankasa na omo wo man ni mu no omo na say yesua omo akwan nti misua nipa na kwan e ma me hu say the average Ghanaian no say na dwene tie na ebi nso the creme de la creme so say no omo hu no ma ebi a government nso say no omo hu no ma nti me hwe no na man no ma cheche kakra obi a ne na dwen obi a wesika dwene different obi nso a wo power dwene different obi a woni adwuma dwene different obi nso wo adwuma nso ne sika ndɔso nso dwene different nti nipa nyina na ise sɛ wetimi hu ni omo pɛ ene ni a wetimi aya be fata omo ene ni a wetimi aya a be mo omo nya comfort bi na eno na misua ya emami timi survival ye along my journey because eduru baby a ekroma na edin and eduru baby nso a wodi wani tu nipa nim ne bra omo bre ama wo ansa no wahu se ekwa wonam so no eno ana sese wonam so na debi watimi aboa wo mai
Nana Kwame Bediako, the leader of the New Force movement ana yene atwetwe nkomo na obi beka se we de eyemoguo ye de mana kwaba afei na nkomo twetwe na nkasa ebekoso na ni suade hunu a opese ode beye omampani ewo oman Ghana ye be share the areas of economy and development ye be share education ye be share healthcare ye be share infrastructure ye be share corruption and governance ye be share security and foreign policy ye ani share environment and climate change and sana about agriculture and food security. So just to give you on the hindsight what we are going to discuss.
Mr. Abeiku said the full politics part.
So I have heard you, I've watched you, I've followed you. Even though you are my friend, I call you, we talk, sometimes we chat. We've not sat down to have a conversation on this political journey, but and today our conversation is going to be different from all the conversations that you've had, and that's why I'm giving you highlight of the areas that we have for economy and development. You share education, you share healthcare, you share infrastructure, you share corruption and governance, you share security, any foreign policy. So I may ask you question about Russia and Ukraine. I may ask you question about Iran and Israel and America, and because we don't live in isolation. Ghana is a member of the United Nations and we are a member of the UN Security Council. So vying for the position of the president, I will ask you questions that we will ask the president. We will talk about climate change and environment. Then we'll delve into agriculture and food security. But my last question on the preamble of this conversation will be your foundation, your beginning. 22 years ago, Oba Ghana started business. A lot of people have asked, Ejuma ben na we ye ansana Oba beshe a real estate business, I say, real estate business no buy no na ye wo bebre e wo ho ye wo Akwaba estate ye wo Manet Court ye wo Manet Regimanuel ye wo estate bebre Trasako no nyina. But it seems that 2 decades now about what benyeska bebre this kind of fifa.
So first of all, na me ye telecommunications and still business and any scrap na make no wo hwe abrochi scrap and na hwe Ghana scrabber e different. What you say? Horna misua senisia edin na de bebre bom a for me into steel. Into some of my industrialization skills today, no misua no na mindi 20. Me who say na de ankasa no o fabricate here etimi ye normal.
Now be fan na de ni figana.
There be and that no wa breach scraps. Okay. Now the cost scrap yard now they are boom.
It's a bruche now, scraps.
Yes, I had people even collecting for me as well.
At that young age?
Yes, I've always been a business-minded person. Nipa be braid means some abu boom. So me kasa me share poultry farmer here. I'm 8-9 years old. Let me swap. Until yes, say Ghana 40 million abutre. No mo share say o share Bill Gates money Zuckerberg ne nsanko for my ye bebre wo wiase no. Omu swapa no mo share bibiase. Inti broni na ono hwe sakra no ohun se tumi bi wonimu ohun se nyansa bi wonimu inti ono an pushi na and through the exploration no to say wabaye the customer product for the world obia hunanim obia tinidin obia tenenoma na Beyonce tunum and so ebi o hwe nyum aseto no we di 8 years old na nipa anhwe na wo nko akira nkohu se 8 years old na Beyonce say or pursue the destiny. And Tisana menso ye de woman 8 years, 9 years old no, I was already into leadership. I believe Senkrofomum ebedimechi say medimisika last never topoki and I ice cream amadi no mati me believe me say akwawe ni obeka necessity ni obeka necessity omudinechi. That's what I do.
Who are your parents?
My parents is Quales Elizabeth J.
Okay, FM.
We share Quales residence airport or no me mama no da dine hono. Me mama na me papa so late SK Bediako. Now he's one of the owners of Tata Brewery, a commodity trader, an oil trader. Until I grew up with my mother. My father lived in Accra when I was 11 years old. Then I moved from Kumasi to Accra. And that was the very time I may share school. I see one crying. Mitimi live the Accra life. Accra and Sana Mekwa Bruche for 6 years and came back.
Ukwa Bruche no edin fie saying 15 years. Yes. And then I do Ukwa Bruche.
Oh, it was just after O levels, and then I decided to go say I could continue college. Na minua penny krana try to take it in mind. So my mom, my sisters, everybody, they were thinking say I will go for 2 years. Maybe I may college kekana masamba back. I may call hono and I may try the year college we I may call university. Time na me college na na business. I may call university no. Na me additional sepa but na adwuma wo mani so. Na capital aba mani so, na marketing aba mani so. Ti me share na university no make us me train 3 years 4 years now. Omudi ama me to acquire a bachelor's degree in business studies na. Me share numbers na me say let me concentrate on my business. Ti enu ti dem I concentrated on business and me realize it say by the time I me drew me 20s na my journey it's about creating wealth, business. And that's what I've been doing.
Into one pursue further educational.
I didn't get my degree in the university. I was quite brainy. I could have scored very well, but unlike Zuckerberg, who also left Harvard to pursue his dreams, I did the same. I pursued my dreams. My dreams was not to acquire a degree. My dreams was to add value to society and was to become extremely successful so I can control wealth. I can control money.
Unya sika ni nyina wie na. Aden na one to aso anko school.
Sika nyina ni nyina wie Abeiku.
But from where you've reached, the zenith that you've reached in life, academic laurels and so then you can say that yes, you've accomplished academically and financially.
I would also advise people that they shouldn't be greedy to want to have everything. You see, God does not give us everything. Obi oha no fe pa wa yoba and so nu aduane no. Obi won so a ebia ne ho nya fe bebre ne ho fe kakra but aduane obenoa amani kunu ne family no etimi shape your whole life nti nyankopon de onfa bibia aman kakra na wonim so obetimi asom no a obekura na obeye ne ye fatal na asutu no ehon na sese wadwene komo.
You said your late dad na oka the owners of Tata Breweries. Tata Breweries one of the indigenous brewery companies revolution time I think it was taking over now say you diversify but that time now you're very young.
Yeah.
Okay, who papa's as an entrepreneur?
I always saw him as a businessman.
As a businessman.
My father was known. My father was very popular in Ghana, very handsome man, very modest, very successful. My mother,
entrepreneurship no usua fi hwan ho.
I think say enya dia o sheda obi betima coach you. Say obeba be ye sikani na kwan say ne pesu enya sika. Eye wiase na ete no say values, core values will lead you to entrepreneurship. Obi o ha ne values eno bi na okay. Say obeko school na ebia wanya ayete say degree na wakonya adwuma. Obi nso values ne say ono ankasa de obepe capital na waye ne business na wa expand it na wakọ nanim enti obi a on values sa values na wo na obe decide say values we na me de kono eno ene be determine who you're becoming. Obi won so a believe pe na woni mu say media me ginyame dipa enti nyame adwuma na sese me ye sa adwene no obefa so a e de akoda ne sofo na ene no say eba entrepreneur ni san ma no maye bi na me ye wie no me hu say ekwan foforo da ho e ma me be ye industrialist visionary san no ma we nyina ya mfa wo me nyini no na me sua na me divert
it did that day nyina o ye Quales resident number 1 apartment any de na o team so person o ye president
the beginning no na me nim sa because nkofo bi ka But omo kanso a na meso maka o metrim say na me de me fan akwa president politics do me intiase wo ka jam say assemblyman kra benim ye but na me nim say emre bi beba it will be a calling. It was a calling. I woke up one day and I decided say metra man na e man na say a meka ho and as say me besi na e nyina e dwane e free kroma na bia be refugees there, then I will step in.
Before I will be out, sir, or the new force, now we have seen you in what will be described as positioning yourself as a leader. You know that you are seeking for power and the mandate from the people. It be a pictures, any videos, how what brand they will not just a one casano. Politics ni presidency ni governance and our government ade ana ye ode eye wo fe iti wankasa wo emblem wo wankasa logo wo coat of arms just say what creative wankasa wo state be at the amount. What was going through your mind at that time?
So shen sama o kan sisia utimu se ni ana go through my mind na more than being a president. Obi a ono creating an emblem. The president serves to an emblem. That is royalties. That is organization and an empire. And no man say ena me dwene ho nkrofo mo ye me mentor obi ti say King Solomon, obi ti say Mansa Musa, obi ti say Kwame Nkrumah. Nkrofo say me hwe mo so and no more mo ye bi no eye me fe na nye se president keka nipa be pese obi di enti me kwa ye emblem ni sama no. I believe sir I can build or I can help build. Me and my team can help change the world. We can bring value, added value to humanity. But also it's important that the way you dress is sometimes how you are addressed. The way you perceive yourself is sometimes how people perceive your character, and your character becomes your image. Your image is finalized personality. And so these things are very important to me. People call it branding or marketing. I call it legacy.
Okay.
How to initiate it.
Okay, so now any with team so be president. Let me give you a little insight of African politics and governments and leaders. They were all mentored, not only in Ghana, even across Africa, even in Europe, even in America. George Bush was mentored by his father. George Walker Bush was mentored by George Bush. Condoleezza Rice even mentored George Walker Bush. If you take the Kennedys, they mentored Bill Clinton. Clinton mentored Barack Obama. UK Magdalene Albright, your friend is Margaret Thatcher mentored John Major. Asana John Major Ebabeye Oba Ghana ha. Former President J. Kufuor was mentored by a friend saying this PF party. He was mentored. Buzia mentored him. Even in Ghana, Atta Mills was mentored by Rawlings. John Mama was mentored. Nana Addo Dankwa was mentored. It is to me answer prekupe na umbeye a leader of a country if you have not gone through the mill or the process. You have not served as an assemblyman. You have not served as a member of parliament. You have not served as a DC. You are a businessman. You have not been mentored in politics. How do you become successful if you have not been mentored?
Well, first of all the names that you've mentioned are dignified politicians. And as you described me, I'm a businessman who have woken up to say I'm going to become a leader. Now, listen to this carefully. I said I want to lead the country. I didn't say I want to be a politician. If I wanted to be a politician, then I would have gone through the process that you're talking about. I would have loved to become an assemblyman, maybe from there to an MP, become a minister, and finally become a president through my political ambition. But there is some skills that I've acquired in leadership. And leadership is the same thing that the politician needs. You can be a politician in a position, but your leadership skills is acquired, that you've acquired, is more needed for you to fulfill whatever promise that you've given to the people that you want to lead. Now, the difference between me and the average politician that you mentioned is that these people were not actually just mentored, but they were groomed to become a politician. Okay? I have realized that the African politics, with all the grooming and all the mentoring, the results in the past 4 decades, it's probably -0. We can't see the value that we have gained in the past 4 decades. We cannot say that this country still belongs to us. In the past 4 decades, there might have been some good governance, but most bad governance have made us lost the most. So I realized that Ghana, as a country, might not just need someone who is a skillful politician who will come to lead this country with a program that is already a template that everybody have been repeating and using and using. If that is something that would work, by now we would have seen a difference.
Okay, the 1992 constitution ene emrapon a edibu oman so na se uka se nyesa wo pesa wo ye politician, but you want to lead the country. Ye be gina 1992 constitution ye mrapon a edibu oman na ya hwe wo vision no, any sign na the constitution no can, capture your vision anyhow I will be to me lead it. One, since I will unye career politician, but we a businessman, but you want to lead a country, the governance, the system of governance, a judiciary, legislature, and the executive, structure nature say only the 3 arms of government. The executive president, will govern the country with legislative assembly and as a parliament. Not just say so to become a leader of this country, you need representatives in parliament. Vision when you swadi huno omode beko na se o representatives no so omo koye majority there na chese wa for the leader even of the majority and in parliament eboa ma wutumi the government policies ideas through the leader of parliament at the two parliament and him no ma pass na ababa ye adwuma. It is u pesa wo your mampani wo man Ghana na uni representatives e wo parliament a ebeye den na wani swadi hu no watumi dia ye adwuma wa bra constitution ne kire se uhia mrahye bedwafo na age wani swadi hu no atum na ya toso aba ansa na abeye mra. Without representatives in parliament, how would this vision come to reality?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that, having a political ambition through leadership skills is not illegal. And then if you are a businessman and you want to become a president, also the constitution does not stop you to do so. You can. You're allowed to. Now, talking about the parliament and all of this leadership, this is a template, a program, a stipulated judiciary system, legislation and executive members that exist one way or the other. The only difference is that one man will be elected as a president through campaigning and a political party or an independent candidate. If that person can campaign themselves to become a president, it's likely that a lot of these MPs in the parliament can fall along his vision or can decide to move or cross to that person because of the effort, the knowledge, the energy of this whole political succession plan that has put him in a position. Now, the art of doing that is what we haven't experienced in the past 40-something years. So as for the politics is there, the parliament, the judiciary system, the legislation, and the executive arm that you're talking about is there. The only difference that we haven't experienced is someone coming to either get into this existing duopoly who have been passing the ball to themselves for the past 4 decades. So as a country, we have been used to this type of governance for 4 decades. For me, as a business person and a visionary, I can see a change happening if there is an actual change in the existing 4 decades governance that hasn't benefited us as a nation. And that is exactly the vision that I'm bringing onto the country and into the country. That change, maybe Ghana should also have a taste of a leader who thinks like a CEO for this country, who is a business person for this country. Because no matter what, you need to understand one thing, Mr. Abeiku. There are 2 types of people when it comes to money. There are the people who spend it, and there are the people who make it. So if Ghana is choosing leaders who know how to make the money, they would think of investment, they would think of development, they would think of job creation, they would think of building balances in the economy. But if they bring leaders who just know how to tap into our funds so they can distribute the funds to workers, to salaries, to judgment debts, to contracts, then when the money finishes, they have to go and borrow some more money to continue the habit. Then please let me finish. Then that leader doesn't know how to make money, but rather they know how to spend the money. And I think that's what we've gone through for 4 years.
Okay.
4 decades, sorry.
Sa duopoly ena ya go through sa for 30 something years.
Okay.
Yeah, 39 years, so it's literally 4 decades.
Okay. And no ya go through sa the Ababedu since 1993. The Ababedu Sabri. Okay. Sesian ubeye mampenia said the mekaye no 275 members of parliament. Uhia emududu na ansana wani swadi hunu etumi abem. We have 2 major political parties in Ghana. The NDC and the NPP. Omunyina under the 4th Republic obia serve equal terms. NDC a serve first term of the 4th Republic, 1993 to 2001. MPP about 2001 to 2008. 2009 NDC about to 2016. MPP so about 2017 to now. Omunyina oma share no equal. MPP are serving 16 years. NDC is serving 16 years. So the duopoly multi-party democracy is what we have, like the Republicans and the Democrats. It's an entrenched, multi-party democracy. Now you are coming with a new force as movement, not necessarily a political party. Where do you stand in the face of this growing, duopoly in Ghana? Where do you stand?
But I stand as the new force. I'm the new.
All right, Abusia. In common on the person, you better also. But Abeiku Santana, Ebisa Assembly. May there be a mecase cheddar. Say, answer na medio obiation na minimum. Na Mubio Yesun Sumo Jumanson. And yet in Sambia now, sorry, no baby one na woka. And also be a hint as a mocran. If you grab us a catcher in Nipanang, say, oh, no one hint as a mocrana. You will find a fast a can. Now a bilson and a cheddar, Unyo beer or drink where chili. Won't just yet. Na yeah, TikTok live be. Na and go for a case. Ghana say you bet to me at the na your economy ni bibia aye stabilizer. Or say you do away with those westerners. Yes, true. Into no na omode Ibrahim Torah example. No more the Mali example. No more the Niger example. And a bass a year na ye pe set a bibimaya dear which is decolonization. Any Pan-Africanist now. Yes, me, I'm part of Pan-Africanist because star Western policies, almost culture, almost religion, and almost the brain to us. And I just say to us, no, that's the fact. And only idea, kill your youth, kill your education, kill your culture, kill even the love we the brags we have for ourselves no ekuni na enti no ye pese we do away with it in as ankofo no so no they able to make that policy no omo to me amana ide abam because ohwe Burkina enyama omo president na ye na because watwa France omo policies na ye omo hyehyɛ omo no enu nti na omo aturi ayede aye saade no enti na omo dey compare cheddar say o say cheddar so to me ka say oba say ni say omo ka say o say cheddar enso etumi can blame say ebia oba saade no obeyi afiro to be honest ono ne de no enye ku na obayo oba for election na election so no enye bibia na obeba be kan say anase say and to be honest what follow no acha me ma follow na che ye bisa no about western policies na oka ho asem we mu no omo moaye enu nti ye wone ma bi on mo nim se oka se ohu we a obede ohu nti no omma okwan kra ma wonye de uhu nti waka sa westness no enye om na oso mo decide maye nemom decision a ye betumi no mo take ni se awo se I think say interview we mkra okan e bedu nti o de mitwa masam so memra Abeiku Santana ne eyines wunya abotrehwe video no ko na wie ya o kire mu for eiii ene Quales so omo issue no the last video I made here about ye ne Burkina ne Mali niema ntawantawa ebekọ ye ntem no me ye sa video no na sa wo obi a wo hwe ya obeba beti niema bi ase na obo se sa na Quales ne sa eiii ni ina no a useless organization na e wo no mai especially in African because we be ani so mai just say ye dey agidin see e those organization no e wo ho no enti back to Abeiku Santana asem na me se me person me tell you unim ye parliamentarians no e bia na wunim adwuma na omo ya na nya no na omo ya no ono no ye yi no as ye representative se onko tena mra hwedwamu ono na emra no na ye pe no omo hwe na omo fa ntutu ye ni afa nya adwuma e wo man nim but aha na asem no woni se ye nya to aba no mom ewie pe owie kwa ni community kura bi wo kwa wo si obi obesi wo no na another election na eba but in the actual sense nie na nka wo so mo ye nie ye nya to aba no mom wie a se mo be ko parliament anka anya hwe no every month and I say every 2 months bia no and I say even kra no dey say bia 5 months and now 2 times a year no I was a community no otumi gather community no inti bia me find say ne constituency no at least also to meet chichem na organize inti oko hanom na wa organize ne nkofo okay ye kom na mrashe bedroom eden ne den na mo pese ye den ye ko discussing wo honom na wa jote ne ma ne down na wa summarize ni na abom na ahafo nso ayomo de the same thing no ma summarize ni na abom na omo ko omo hwe okay timamufo no omo se ne omo penie omo ha onie omo so mo ni to ade hunu nie nti ahafo de ni okay ye kan ni nyina bom no ene sei ene ye na ebeboa but here is the case ye nya to aba no mo wi ade no oba wa beto vote parliamentarians omo to vote oba wa beto vote nti o to vote wie ye no wa ton wutumi wa ton wanu onyam wa ton wusunsun wa ton mada chi nyina e de ama no nti okotena ho a obeba kote decide ni ope ana ope kra na onkote ki decision bia e na ada na omo nkonwa a omo kono omo akotena ho akokon akonwa ho omo kotena ho no ma ni ma hunu enkoa na omo koye no ho sa foreigners here yesu omo politics ni omo ni ma no wo hwe omo parliament a fekeke omo te honum put two things in order dream 5 years omo dream 20 years ahead omo dream 30 years ahead omo dream 50 years ahead generation na beba nya oso omo ba beto so ba ye den de omo kwa nkonwa e na omo kokko ho won inti no concerning say bi a cheda ba ekwan a obefa so a obetumi aye ne nyamam na ye because of the city environment no masa yen youth no ena ye di na chi ena ye vote ama no say ye nim say wo na obetumi asese oman no enti ene oba emra nipa na hyehyeye enti nipa tumi sesan so ma ne ye okay ne parliament kan ni a ene ye bebisa temamufo no nto organize anase ne mo parliamentarians no mitu obi kam ho monko mo temamufo no ho enko ka kire mo se ne ye pese ye nie is it allowed and into no ka so or system regional tour no nti se sa tour na wo ko no o tie temamufo no nsem na odi abeye ne manifesto na nya so odi beye manifesto nko a ye de power no man so na wo ba eno na so obeye maye nti se mo parliamentarians no mo beye selfish because of mo political party na antumi ama power no na se nipa ne the policies esefata ba na se mo se mo mpene dia then obe get it down to the people and if we the people no say ni a wo se wo dey be ye gituma I dey never see no kwan bibia see no kwan I don't know ni amena kan no so obeti ase ye pa obo say yes sa na asem na tie bibia no ebetumi asi no kwan because ye ntemamfo no yes yes ye gitum say we no ye maye and a parliamentarians yes no ye vote o mkotena ahonom nti den na wo de besi ho kwan ana obeka se mra ese je sa wo gitum nti anan na mra se gitum a mra no se ye ne ye de oba ye nti abe decide maye na ye decision no akotena ho mo betumi aka chere say ye decision no wonji ntumu anan nti ahono kwa de emamma emumfa eno no enye issue na mumfa ntwitwa na namu say because of that nti no ebasa ni dreams and the plans are wo mo man no enye yi very very possible na ye simple kwa but just say bia bibi wo hono ma nipa ni ntumi meka no hono efiri say akote ye say so wo petumi a ye ka che wo say fa wo ma me bra na beji tumi na ebi ma say mo ka no odo maame ko ekoji tumi na uwi a na wasan di tumi no akoje wo maame asan ede no ayede aba nti asam na Abeiku Santana ebisa cheda no sa na etie.
I stand as the new force. I'm the new kid on the block and with the new force audience, and we're coming with a force. The nation needs to remember that the youth of this country has been rejected and they have been robbed of their livelihood. They haven't had the chance to be a part of decisions. There's 78% of this country is jobless, and the biggest part of this population is 0 to 45 years of the entire population of this country. They are all jobless. So these are the people I stand for.
Me know we are doing we are the new force because NDC and MPP and the two major political parties. Nanki are doing CPP ebeye the third force. Nanso anye ye PNC and also anye ye. Nkrumah is for no nanke ebeye the third force anye ye. Inti probably the new force no wo.
All right, abusia. Tisane midika ka yebe to aso. Nemum send a video no what yebe no part 2. Ho na the most interesting thing na then e wone nsam bi say na send midika ka ne cheda obi a so wo mpe na asem kra na the message no ma inspire because we obi a ma enkofo message inspire na wutie nipa ne kasa ne the way esi kono na so person nya sua de free mu a in fact obe like me hu kasa ma me fama no obe do na nkasa obe penasem na ensam wo kan nya se bia ano keke but o chirem onya abotre e chirem ema illustrations ema hu say yes onim ne oyede wo kan abusia mesra ona ne dedi kan no ashu dia sympathy bi obe subscribe to channel no be like it na wa hit bell notification no send e be ya abreni abrebia ye di video foforo e di tuma also onsa ebeka video bi no ayede na wahwe afi nso ne ye sere wadwen no anaso wo ho akonya so obeche wadwen wo comment section ase oya be ma o mema asem nko yi nso a ne ohi answer obefra me number na 0543304976 asthma stroke hepatitis diabetes and etete wa enye wadwen se enyi adu abibiduro konje e wo honom a me de beboa amo wanya ahoto a ese na efata mas makrao next video.